Hi guys, so today we will take some good thoughts on our dream stream software engineering, and let's see how these people who is I think the topmost guy in our software industry. So let's take some thoughts on his life and how he will able to improve ourselves through his idea or maybe innovative ideas. So let's start with his thoughts. His name is Ankit. He is one of my good friend. So let's start with him. So hi Ankit.
Hi.
Yeah, so just tell me about yourself and how you choose this particular field and why you are this much of achiever in this field.
Okay, so basically, the thought for software engineering came into mind when I was in 9th or 10th standard. Then I realized that there are many problems in our country or in a software industry which needs to be solved by the means of software or by means of information technology. So that spiked in my mind, and I decided to choose software engineering as a career option. And I started gathering information regarding what it does and what are the different options available in software engineering. As a software engineering is a very huge field, it has multiple different variations inside it, be it a database or a network, maybe it's a software development or it's a web development, anything. So it everything compiles together and makes one software engineering as a one career option. So after that, I decided to go into that engineering field for software engineering.
Great, great. So you told, as you told that software engineering is a broad term. So let's divide this term. Let's talk about only the developer part. So as a starter or as a beginner, as a developer, so what is the primary thing that he might be he'll need?
Okay, so basically, in a software engineering career, as a like if you choose software engineering as a career option, first thing that should be in your mind is the problem solving. If you are a good problem solver, you can solve anything with the help of softwares, or you can develop any software which can solve whatever day-to-day life problems you face. So first of all, if you are choosing software developer as a life as your career option, then you must be very good with the problem solving skills, be it algorithms or any kind of general problems that you face in your life.
Now, as discussed with my many of the friends, and the majority problem is like how to provide the solving, like how to improve your logical skill. So for that, just share your ideas that how to improve the particular logical thing.
Okay, so basically, logical things cannot be learned overnight. It has to be done through lots of practices by identifying or basically what we say by basically repetitively solving such kind of problems, or learning or just reading some problems that are already been solved and how they approached for the solutions for that particular problem. If you continuously be in that loop and continuously read those kind of articles, continuously read those kind of problems and their solutions, approach to solutions, if you on a daily basis, if you start doing this, you will at one time you'll yourself will think in that direction, and you'll find some kind of solutions to that problem.
So is there any book or any websites for that?
Okay, so for specifically speaking about the algorithms and the problem solving skills, you can go through the Geeks for Geeks, Lead Code, then HackerRank, Hacker. Then you can. There are multiple different websites available online. Top Coder. So you can go there, have a look at different set of problem that they are providing, and try to solve that problem by yourself first. If you are not reaching to the approach, just try to like look at different approaches that they are providing, and based on that approaches you can form your own solution, or you can use that approach in some other problem as well. So basically, you need to be very strong with the data structures, what type of data structure they are using, what type of uh, like approach they are using, and based on those approaches you can form your solutions and be more comfortable with problem solving.
Yeah, so let's talk about one common problem that every like my kind of developer are facing or many other faces. Like we thought like some people are very good in logic, and some people are not, but still he want to be a developer. Like in many cases, I am able to provide some solution in very easy way, and maybe some people are not able to answer in that much of fluency. So what is the suggestion for that? Like that people is maybe good in a logical thing, or he have to improve his logical skill. I think it's not a birth skill, right? So
So
what is your suggestion on that?
So basically, just solving the problem doesn't make your solution a best solution, because even if there are multiple ways to same problem. So there can be some shortcuts to the problem, some there can be some longer routes to the problem solutions. But like solution is better when it is taking less amount of time or less amount of space while like executing or while solving your problem. So let's say if you are doing some task and it takes 10 hours to complete that task, and if you have any solution that completes that particular task in 1 hour, then you obviously choose the task which is taking 1 hour of time. If you compare both the approaches, it might so happen that 10-hour task was very simple to implement, but a 1 hour task was very difficult to implement. But because you have a time constraint and everything matters is the time while executing the program, so you should be concentrating more on the optimizing the solution than the just the solution like solving the problem.
So you mean to basically say that applying the logic is not the birth skill.
Yeah.
It is on the experience things,
Yeah.
right?
So basically, you need to have a solution which is more optimized than any other solutions. So it has to be less resource what do you say, less resource consuming,
Mhm.
and it has to be some. It shouldn't be a brute force approach while solving any problem.
Great, great. So let's say about beginner thing only. So what are the stages or what are the challenges that you face when you are a beginner?
So basically, one of the biggest, if I talk about the problem solving, there are two different approaches. One is problem solving, second is the getting a right job which allows you to solve such kind of problem. So first thing is problem solving. So if problem solving, as I said, you can master your problem solving skills by just practicing and practicing. So more you practice, more you get comfortable with the solutions and more you think in that direction. So comes to job part of thing. So basically you need to first identify the set of jobs that are ideally like suitable for your kind of nature. So basically if whatever your job you are applying, it should be aligned with your skill sets. So if you are looking for a job which is not suitable for your skill set, then you must not waste your time applying there and just wasting your time. Other than that, you can directly go to the profiles which are more suitable for your skill sets. And basically in initial time you might come across point where you will find that identifying the job is very difficult task. So basically you again, if you keep practicing, you will find out that most of the job opportunities for software development requires problem solving skill. If you are good at problem solving skill, then most of the companies are ready to hire you as a basically a software developer.
Mhm. So what are the stages in software developing line? Like as a beginner, after that, what are the stages?
So basically, if you are fresher, then most of the companies focus on what kind of problem solving skills you have. Once you have completed 2 or 3 years of software development experience, then people might give less credit to your problem solving skills. Doesn't matter if you are how good you are at problem solving. People might like interviewers expect more on your tech skills than your problem solving skills. So how you design the different systems, how you architect them like efficiently, and how much technology you have in that particular domain. So problem solving skill is must for them, but it will be given less weightage once you have some good experience in software development.
Yeah, great thing. So in general things, this is the general question for everyone. Like how to manage time in our software developing day-to-day life as a software developer. So the basically question is like to differentiate between our technical terms or industrial part and our regular life.
Okay, so if you are talking about the work-life balance, so basically you dedicate some 8 to 9 hours for your regular job and rest of the time for the family time. So basically, if you divide, everybody has 24 hours of time. Out of that, we spend 8 or 9 hours of time in our office, and the rest of the time at home or maybe for social life. So and provided most of the companies are providing weekends for Saturdays and Sundays for relaxation, so you can optimize that particular time of 2 days to spend most of the time with your family, so that it gets balanced. So you work hard for 5 days a week, and then for the next 2 days you spend your enough time with your family. So that's how you can balance your work as well as your personal life.
Great. And this question is might be little bit tricky. Why? Because most of the youngsters in our India most of the youngsters are thinking like after completing my computer engineering or B, I will go to abroad and improve my skill, not in India. So for that, any suggestion, or this is the right way?
So basically, going abroad is one of the dream of all the software engineers. Basically, the main reason for going abroad is basically high pay rates. Basically, in India, if you think, then average salary for a normal software developer, like who has experience of 2 to 3 years, is somewhere around 7 to 8 lakhs per year, or maybe little bit below that. And there are very low percentage of engineers who are earning more than 20 lakhs per annum with 3 or 5 years of experience, 3 to 5 years of experience. So the main reason for going abroad is the high pay scale, where they can easily upgrade their lifestyle and have better quality of life. So that's the main reason for going abroad.
And what is your personal review on that? Like,
So
what?
basically, as I said, everybody will always has some dream of going abroad and having to work there in different countries and get a chance to travel around the world. So basically, I also have a dream of going to some other countries and like explore the different countries with high pay scale and good quality of life.
So yes. So now the question is like fear of code. This is the one term that I generally listen from my all these friends. So what you say about that? Fear of code.
Fear of.
Fear of coding.
Okay, so basically, if you are a software developer, you have to write some code, right? Because without writing code, you cannot just talk to someone and just you cannot be a software developer if you are not coding. You have to code enough line of code in a week, so that you have enough hands-on on particular on writing codes, and you can, by writing code, you basically make anything possible with your coding skills. So as a software developer, I feel like any software engineer at whatever level of career experience, he must be coding some line of code every week.
Definitely. So in this question only, the next term is if the person who is able to complete his code in particular timeline. So for that, if he want to still improve to himself as a coder, so what is your thought on that?
So basically, you need to basically read lots of code. Like if you feel that particular guy is very good at writing code, you must have a look at their how they are coding, what are the different what do we say coding standards that they are following, what are the different types of approaches that they are using, what are different types of modules that they are writing, and how modular that code is, or how documented that code is. So if you want to be good at coding and be a good coder, you need to document your code very well, and you need to write your code as modular as possible, so that if someone else is writing your code, or so someone else is using your code, making changes to those code will be very easy for them. So that way you can improve your coding skills. So reading code from the guys who have already good at coding, or who has like very good experience in writing code, you can read those code and learn by the what do you say learn from the mistakes that they have already solved.
Yeah. So basically, in this way, we are able to improve our coding part. So let's come to our generic life, like how to improve, or I can say how to make our life better as a software developer.
So again, you can
And
make your life better by
how to make interesting life, our life
Okay.
as an interest.
So basically, if you are willing to spend your next entire life as a software developer, then you must be basically into love with the coding. So if you are loving if you love the coding part, then then your life is sorted. If you just if you are just a software developer by the force of your what do you say career option, then you will end up like getting frustrated in your software life, because you don't like coding and you are forced to write code. So basically that will not make your life good. So if you are willing to choose software development as your career option, then you must be in love with code.
Great. And as a software developer, how you improve this society?
So basically, again, everything is now automated. So all the manual interventions from the regular day-to-day life operations are now automated. So basically, you are making basically you are making the person's life a lot easier with automations. So you don't have to think again and again for the same kind of thing. You just automate things and everything is taken care by the softwares. So this way you can make society a little better for everybody else to use.
Yeah, okay. So in student life, many students are just completing his BE or just completing his computer life, computer as a just normal thing. So what is the suggestion for them?
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so what basically as a student, most of the guys is just learning or completing his BE is just a normal thing. What is the your suggestion that how the particular as a software developer student, how he will learn as a software developer, how he will understand the things as a software developer?
So basically, again the same question that we already answered. Basically, if you are forced into engineering stream by your parents or by any means, you shouldn't be worried about like what you will be doing after your engineering. There are lots of other options also available after engineering. But particularly if you are willing to dive deep into your software development as a career option, then you must be very good with problem solving skills, and you should be while you are in college you should be prepared for all the problems that might be arising after you join the industry. So basically you should be aware with lots of latest technologies that are the software industry is having, and doesn't matter what type of job you will be doing, you should be at least aware of what are the different technologies that are available right now in the market, and get yourself upgraded with the different technologies.
Yeah. So after completing this study, so most of the guys in a software line thinking about the entrepreneurship. So what is your idea about that?
So basically, entrepreneurship cannot be basically come directly in your mind. Basically, you should have some kind of entrepreneurs kind of skills in your blood. Basically, if you are thinking in that direction, you should have better ideas, and you shouldn't be thinking like I want to be entrepreneur. Basically, you should have proper idea of what will the future plan of that particular idea, and what will be the implications if that doesn't get succeeded. So you should have all the possible plans for your let's say you're planning to start a startup, then you should be having all the possible aspects regarding how startups works, what are the different approaches that startup should tackle, what are the funding options that that particular idea will have, and a lot more other options. If you are not a leader, if you do not have leadership skills, then you might end up creating some unsuccessful startups and might end up being frustrated.
Great, great. So anything else that you want to suggest all these developers?
So basically, if you are being a software developer, you should be willing to solve problems on on a regular basis. It shouldn't be like someone has assigned me a task and I'm just trying to finish it off. You should also think in terms of how that particular product that you are building will affect the company that you are working with, or the clients that you are working for. So basically, you should be not thinking just in terms of it's a work. It should be it should be part of your life. So if you are working on something else, it should you shouldn't be thinking in terms of let's get it completed. It should be treated. It should be treated as your own product.
Yeah. And what motivates you to write a code?
Money. Money motivates everyone. So yeah, obviously. So if you are good at coding, and if you like coding, and if you can prove it, all the companies are willing to pay you huge amount of money. So basically, money motivates everyone.
Yeah. So yes, guys, this is the Ankit, my one of the friend who is the great achiever in our field. So I think you will able to understand what is the software line and how you able to improve your life in this industry. So thank you, guys.